We're distracted. The true agenda behind 15-minute cities just got leaked, and it is straight up evil.
15-minute cities is something that the WEF has created called C40.
Yeah, that's right. While we were distracted, well, that's basically you goyams and the rest of the wicked, okay, the peons, right? So, but the prophets have been saying this all along through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I say, call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bashem Ka Kodash. This is Malak Maganya from GMS Toronto.
And it's called C40 cities.
And GMS Toronto 2, giving all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, okay, who rule and teach well, and to the rest of the hopeful elect. All right, so yeah, this is I want to make this a short one. I just want to get to the point, right? Going over this video about smart cities, right, and so forth like that. I'd like for you folks to take a listen at this video, because basically what these people are saying is not exactly what the WF is saying. The WF is not being clear about what they're saying, and these presenters are doing the same. So I'm going to come from the scriptures and just show a great contrast in regards to prophecy, because yes, ultimately it's prophecy that's coming before your eyes, right? Okay, so let's go back and see exactly what these smart cities are about, who it's for, right? Because they're not telling you who it's for. They're just talking about their smart cities, and that people are going to be, would you say, pushed into these things or what have you, right? And laws are going to be passed. So take another listen, and then I'm going to get some scriptures.
I would urge you to certainly look on the internet about it. Basically, you won't be able to drive.
Right? Yeah, so simply put, right? This guy is telling you to look on the internet. All right, so the big red flags there. And at the beginning, this poor girl, right? So, there's no answers. But yeah, you people are distracted. So I'll just go back to the beginning of what she said, and then you'll hear in combination of what this gentleman here is saying.
While we were distracted, the true agenda behind 15-minute cities just got leaked, and it is straight up evil.
15-minute cities is something that the WEF has created called C40, and it's called C40 cities. I would urge you to certainly look on the internet about it. Basically, you won't be able to drive a petrol or diesel car anymore. You'll have to buy electric. If you want food...
Okay, yeah, so they've been saying that for decades. That doesn't mean that's not going to happen, right? But remember, folks, we're talking about smart cities, right? So they're basically saying that the smart cities are going to be like a prison. This is what this guy's saying. I think there's going to be... anyway, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I will go to the scriptures later on just to show you, basically, yes, there's some kind of herding going on and pushing people around and so forth. But the scriptures are very plain with that. So simply put, man, he's saying that the smart cities are totally bad idea. That's what he's saying. So, all right, let's continue.
You will get a calorie-controlled system sent to you by text saying, this is what you can eat today. This is what you can have today.
That's fucking insane.
If you violate any of these things, they'll freeze your bank account. That is the next step. These are stages.
While we were distracted.
Right, yeah. So we see that there was a little glitch there. Internet does that to you when you're doing a lesson. You touch something and it moves. So they've been controlling our diets and all of that all along. But I want to preface, as I go into the scriptures now, is that these small cities are for the smart cities are basically for you goyams, okay, and you wicked. A lot of you are going to get cornered into it, and yes, some of the elect is going to be, the Lord is going to allow some of them to be trapped in there, but just simply to deliver them. Okay, simply put, to deliver them. All right, and I have scripture for that as well. So I'll let you go. I'll let you take another listen.
The true agenda behind 15-minute cities just got leaked, and it is straight up evil.
15-minute cities is something that the WEF has created called C40, and it's called C40 cities. I would urge you to certainly look on the internet about it. Basically,
Yeah, from history, it never starts out as evil. It won't start out as something evil. It'll start out as something good. I guarantee you that. And I say that to say this, man. I've been around for more than 5 decades, okay, on this planet, and I've seen a lot of things, and I know patterns, right? And everything start out good. The government promises all this stuff, right? I'm not trying to tell you to buy into smart cities. That's not what I'm trying to say here. Continue.
won't be able to drive a petrol or diesel car anymore. You'll have to buy electric. If you want food, you will get a calorie-controlled system sent to you by
Yeah, so this is happening in China. This has happened, in China on different levels. But there's, as you can see, there's still sort of freedom right there. All right. So there's one element really missing here, and it's framing mischief by law. Psalms 94 and 20, right? And, Isaiah 10 and 1 on righteous decrees. These things have to happen before things get manifest in regards to the law aspect, right? So these people are just talking right now.
saying, this is what you can eat today. This is what you can have today.
That's fucking insane.
If you violate any of these things, they'll freeze your bank account. That is the next step. These are stages in which they're going to implement this stuff. And this was signed up by the WEF, and the WEF has signed up with our mayor in London as the chair. And he has gone around the world to communicate this C40 to all of the countries in the world. And most of the countries are looking at adopting it. Now, I am going to...
Yeah, the Western Hemisphere will be the last to embrace it. The other nations have already embraced it, but as I said to you, Psalms 94 and 20, they haven't framed the mischief yet by law. It hasn't been made law. Okay? All right? But all these things are happening, but it's not made law. And the unrighteous decree hasn't come yet. So yes, take another listen before I get some scriptures.
Abolish it. It is a hopeless position. We are going to be in an open prison, or shall we say a COVID, for the rest of our lives. We will not be able to work unless it's in our 15-minute city.
Look, we are already in that see something or another. Okay, and we have a little bit of freedom, right? So he's saying a lot of stuff, but he's not telling you how it's going to happen.
It's diabolical. This is not the right thing, and it's been hidden from the public. No one's talking about it.
It's not really surprising. It makes sense because it's completely aligned with the demonic agenda, the one world government, where you own nothing.
Yeah, what's that underlining factor that you people can't see, that you're still sleeping on, is the MOTB, the mark of the beast, right? But anyway, I digress. I might get to the scripture in regards to that because that's the topic of the hour. Take another listen.
And you will be happy, and you'll be their little puppet, and they can do what they want. And in essence, what this really boils down to is they want your energy. So then you might wonder, how do I protect myself?
Well, look, that has already happened. They're not. You people are not saying anything new, man. That has already happened. What is left is that frame of mischief. Okay, and that's going to bring in World War III, the ultimate World War III. So right now it's just smoke.
How do I take back my energy? Well, you gotta look at all the places in your life where you're a victim to these systems, these things in place. If you're in a job that you don't want to be in, well, that's one way that they siphon off of your energy. So you gotta take that back. It's a game of sovereignty. And if you're not actively involved in reclaiming your sovereignty, they win. We're at a pivotal point right now in human history where you have to...
You can't escape. I already gave you the answer, right? In a nutshell, the MOTB is coming. It will be made law. Okay, and that brings the World War III in it. Okay, and then that's the end. It's the end. The end. Anyway, let's target the idea in regards to how the elect is going to be navigated in the spirit through all this madness, because these smart cities are for you goyams basically to be destroyed, right? But let's see what the Bible says. So I'm going to go to the book of Ezra. I'm going to start there today because I already gave you 2 precepts to chew on. Psalm 94 and 10. 20, and Isaiah 10 and 1. So let's go to the book of Ezra, the book of 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra. It should be the 5th chapter. And I'm going to read from today, 2nd Ezra 5. Bear with me there. Let me just get this here. It's kind of dark where I'm at right now. Let's put my... Yeah, it's the 5th chapter. 2nd Ezra 5. Yeah, and from 9 to 16. Yeah, I want to go... Yeah, I'm going to start at 9 and 10, and then I'm going to just go down to... I'm going to start at the top, and then I'm going to end at verse 9 real quick, because this is how the spirit of prophecy is going to navigate the elect, right? Simply put. So the point is in verse I'm going to stop at verse 9. All right. Okay, let me just get that. Actually, I'm at chapter 6. I want chapter 9, Salakia. Chapter 5, Salakia. All right. Yeah. So here we are. Yeah. Again, the internet kind of jumped on me there. Okay. All right. So 2nd Ezra 9 verse 1. It says, "Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come, and they shall dwell, and they that which dwell, upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of the truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith." So this is exactly what's going on right now, right? Ezra here was prophesying about our time in the spirit, was pointing to this time, right? And so as you can see, these prophets on TV, prophets, internet prophets, call whatever, they're talking, but they're not telling you because it wasn't given them. There's no faith there. They weren't set up to bring this truth. Verse 2, 2nd Ezra 5 and verse 2, it says, "But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago." Right? Didn't I told you? I told you, hey, most of these people that's on the TV or on the internet that you're looking at, man, I'm older than them. I know about the moon landing, all that weird stuff that you people are seeing. Right? Nothing has ever come good out of those things. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right? We're still here talking about conspiracies. These people are talking about conspiracy, and I'm talking about prophecy. 2nd Ezra 5 and verse 3. It says, "And the land," in America here, namely, Babylon, "that thou seest now have root, and shalt thou see wasted suddenly." Verse 4, 2nd Ezra 5 and 4, reading down to 9, it says, "But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet, that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in one day, right? And blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled." Okay, simply put. So what was prophecy? Or what was history? Let me say it this way: is prophecy. And prophecy and history repeats, and going into the prophetic understanding of these things. Verse 6, 2nd Ezra 5 and verse 6, reading down to 9, "And even he shall rule, whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth." Right? Let's read Psalms 2. Okay? Psalms 2. That's a beautiful prophecy about the ruler and the rulers that are coming, the new rulers that are coming. While you have people pretending to be, well, not pretending, they are rulers of this kingdom. but they're talking as if they're going to be here forever, ever and ever and ever, right? And some people have to I should say, how would you say, what's the word I'm looking for? They have to refer to blood drinking. They drink blood to stay alive. All right, that's the point I'm trying to say here. All right, so bear with me. I'll read verse 6 again, and it says, and even he shall rule, right? Whom they look not for, that dwell upon the earth. He being Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, upon the earth, and the fowls shall take their flight away together. And the Sodomitish sea, 2 Ezra 5 verse 7, it says, and the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. Okay, not going to give you too much explanation on that. You figure that one out. You guys are the prophets when you see this. Verse 8, 2 Ezra 5 and verse 8, it says, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. So yes, right? Hey, let's start with our people. Okay, 2/3 of our people, man. These things they're going to bring forth menstruous women. Going to bring forth menstruous monsters. Okay, all right. But here's the point of going into the cities, right? I told you before, right? 2 Ezra 5 verse 9, it says, and salt waters shall be found and sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdrew itself into a secret chamber. Okay? If you can do that. So all these wicked things are happening. All right? So yes, just wanted to bring that. But I brought that precept just to show you the turmoil before the city-to-city movement. Right? And right now, that's a process. But when the law of the mark of the beast is passed, Revelation 13, you can read from 15, 16 is the point. Okay, 16 and 17 is actually the point. Right? He calls it all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Right? And no man can buy nor sell save he had the mark. So these people here are not talking about that mark in the Bible. Okay, they're not talking about it, right? And it's an actual mark, right? So yes, let me leave you with that. Hopefully that helped a little bit. And then I'm going to go to actually my next precept in regard to the city, the movement, in regard to how the elect is going to navigate, is I'm going to go to the book of Corinthians. Okay, this is it, 2 Corinthians. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 11 and 27. Actually, yeah, 20. We'll start at 26. It says, right, and Paul is giving an experience. So this. I'm going to give you an exact example of what will happen, because it was basically wicked people that was doing this to him. People who do not have the seal. Okay, 2 Corinthians 11:26, the point is in 27, it says, in journeyings often, and in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, and perils of mine own countrymen, you see, in perils by the heathen, and in perils in the city, and in perils in the wilderness, and in perils in the sea, and in perils among false brethren. So yes, it says, verse 27 is the point, in wanness and painfulness, in watching often, in hunger and thirst, and fastings often, in cold nakedness. Okay. Beside it, those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. Right. Now, the point was really in verse 27. I just wanted to bring that out. right? And this verse 28 goes into currently now in terms of what we're going to be going through. But when the crisis comes, these are some of the things, scourges, that the elect will go through. Okay, right? And you can, that's what verse 26 and 27 is tying in, right? In the journeys, right? So yes, scourged by wicked men, robbers, countrymen, heathen, right? It's all there. I did preface this at the beginning in regards to the goyim, right? The wicked nations. One more precept from the Gospels. I'm going to go to the book of Matthew. I'm going to read from verse 10 to verse 23. All right? And so it says, "For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you." So I want to start out with that. Okay, but I'll just jump up to 19. It says, "But when they deliver you up," right? I said, like I was saying, the elect navigating and also moving from city to city. Okay, and moving and so forth like that. When the law is passed, okay, when the law is passed, like now it's okay. These people here on the screen are talking. But let's see what the scripture says. This is Matthew 10 and 19, and I'm going to read to verse 23 actually to the point, right? But just to give a little context. So it says, "But when they deliver you up, and take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour which thou speakest." So yes, whatever the Spirit has put in us, the Spirit will return it, right? Those who live by faith, by His faith, excuse me. Habakkuk 2 and 6, the just shall live by his faith. Matthew 10 and 20, it says, "For it is not you that speak, but the Spirit of your heavenly Father, Yahweh, which speaketh in you," right? And Yahweh Shai promises it. He says, look, when you see me, you see the Father, right? And we're witness of the word and our experience in spirit and in truth, how we're led, all right? Matthew 10 and 21, and it says, "And brother shall deliver you up, brother to death, and the father and the child and the children shall rise up against it, and their parents, and cause them to be put to death." I'll read it in the NLT for you. It says, "A brother will betray his brother to death," Matthew 10 and 21, "and a father will betray his own child, and children will rebel against their parents and cause them to be killed." Okay? Right? Verse 22, Matthew 10 and 22, one more verse after this, and it says, "And all nations, all you goyim, will hate you because you are my followers." See? "But everyone who endures to the end will be saved." Right? So only the elect that the Lord is going to guide will endure to the end. Right? And that comes with a seal. The Thawad comes with the Father's name. I just read it for you in the verse before. Right? Simply put. Right? I read in verse 20. I read it in verse 20. Right? The seal is the Father. Okay? The Father's name, and you're going to have the Son's name, the Father's name, and the Son's name. Okay? Verse 23, final verse, says, "When you are persecuted in one town, flee to the next. And I tell you the truth, that the Son of Man will return before you have reached all the towns of Israel." See that? Straight. All right? So yes, I'm going to let you listen a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to finish off in the Psalms 83, right? Well, Psalms 83 and 3, and Psalms 91, I'm going to read from 1 to 3, all right? So take another listen.
Make a choice. Walk in the path of New Earth, or basically just following their agenda. Now, choosing the path of the New Earth is a lot more difficult than you might imagine, because it means every single distortion and shadow within you that's attached to the old world needs to be purged. So you gotta do shadow work. And what better way to do shadow work than to do it on steroids? Meaning, you show up on social media and you express yourself. Because chances are, if you're watching this, you probably also got some shit to say. And you not...
Yeah, we don't have no shit to say. We just have the truth. the divine truth. Next precept. He has shit to say. I have shit to say. Right. So this is Psalms 83. I'm going to read to 3. The point is in 3. From 1, it says a song. This is a song, right? So we're singing here, and these people are talking shit. So this is Psalms 83 and 1, right? And the topic is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai implored to confound his enemies, right? So as the elect is being led of the Spirit of prophecy, navigating through small cities and smart cities and this city and that city and the MOTB, right? Okay, leading up to World War III. This is what the Lord is doing. So a song of Asaph. Keep not thou silent. You know what? Let me read it from the. I'm going to read two verses in the first two verses in the NLT, and then I'm going to read the third verse in the KJV. So this is NLT, Psalms 83 and 1. Psalm of Asaph. O power, O Yahweh Shem Yahushai, do not be silent, do not be deaf, do not be quiet, O power. Don't you hear the uproar of your enemies? Definitely the Lord is hearing. Okay, and this is what the psalmist is saying. It's a song. It's a beautiful song. Don't you see that your arrogant enemies are raising up? Here's the point. Verse 3, KJV. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. The hidden ones is going into the elect. Okay? And clearly everybody on planet Earth knows that the nation of Israel, okay, they have a pretty good idea now. Okay? And I'm not going to say in the spirit, but they have a good idea who the people are, right? It's not the people over there in the land, so to speak. Okay? All right. So, yes. Psalms 91. I'm going to finish up in Psalms 91, right? My last precept. So, Psalms 91, right? In closing here, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress and my power. In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Right, going into the fowler, going into the snare of the fowler, right? These people are talking about smart cities, right? Right? And they didn't really have an answer for it. I gave it the answer. The MOTB. Okay? The mark of the beast. That's what it's pointing to. And it's going to be made mischief by law. All right, unrighteous decree, right? And the noisome pestilence there, right, is the nuclear missiles. Okay, that's going to take off, right? We're going to take off and smash Babylon, man. Right, and none of the elect will be there, right? And here's the precept that proves what I'm saying. Right, the noisome pestilence. Noisome pestilence is not bees. It's not talking about bees. Okay. Verse 4, final verse. I could read the whole chapter, but I don't have time. Meaning I don't have time to bore you people. Psalms 91 and verse 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth. Did you hear that? His truth, the eternal truth. Okay, I gave you the answer. Right? But only the elect, right? The hidden ones can receive it. Right? I'll read it again. Psalms 94 and 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be my shield and buckler. Yeah, so there's a safe place. It starts with these scriptures and the eternal truth, and there comes deliverance. The deliverance is an actual place where the elect is going to be beamed up. The Lord's going to beam the elect while the destruction of the noisome pestilence, right, the nukes, will set off. right? Smart cities and everything will be burnt up in it. But before all of that, you people have to go through your trials, man. You have to go through your crazy stuff, right? And right now, it's a great trial for the Lord's elect. We're going through our hell right now on earth. This place is hell. There's nothing good here for us, right? But to what? Let me read it again. Final precept in closing. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust his truth. Right, that's all we have is the eternal truth. Shall be thy shield, right? The Magan shield and buckler. All right. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. All praises and honor and glory be unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, and to the men and women who are crying and sighing for the abominations that are being done. And come, Lord, quickly. Right? Lord willing, this video was being, edifying. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.
It's also them siphoning off of your energy. You're suppressing yourself. You've got a message, you got a gift that you should be bringing into the world.